Well, hello once again. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good midday, whenever you happen to be listening and watching this podcast. I'm Marvinetta Whitley Penn, and I am the host of All Stories Matter. This is the home of free flowing conversations where I just ask my guests or my guests about their stories, about their lives, about their who, what, when, where, how, why, all that, the ins and outs of their lives that they're willing to share. And you'd be surprised how much people are willing to share with me. But not just with me. I bet that if you have a friend, if you have an acquaintance even, and you show some interest, some genuine interest, not just prying for the sake of prying, but just curiosity. And other people, they'll be so forthcoming with their stories and episodes, and one thing will lead into another, and another story will lead into another. And then people start making connections. Oh, I see why I did that. Oh, I see why I'm the way I am now. I hadn't thought about that in years. So I'm always encouraging people who look at my show to ask people about their stories, ask people about themselves. We want to talk. We want people to know us. You know, at the beginning of my show now, I take a few minutes just to talk to you guys about something that's near and dear to me, that's on my heart. And I woke up this morning with this thought: be still and listen. And I was like, oh, that's kind of profound. Because then I started thinking about that little word, be. B-E. And I know that it is a verb, to be, but not to be, but simply be. And I've heard that word in so many songs and so many stories and so much of literature. And even the word human being has be in it. So what does be mean? I'm going deep with that, and I'll probably talk about that when I come back, because this is my last show for the season. I'm going to take a little break because I've got some independent projects that I'm going to be working on. One is bringing the film, the award-winning documentary called Natchez, to Kalamazoo. Now, Natchez is a film about what's going on in Natchez, Mississippi. Natchez, Mississippi lost its income base, and so they turned to tourism. And what are we going to tour? What are people going to tour when they come to Natchez, Mississippi? Well, they can tour these plantations. We can restore these plantations. So Natchez looks at the town through that lens, but it also gives you several other lenses from the other people who live in Natchez, the descendants of slaves who tell their story, other members of the community who are not represented in those plantations. We hear their stories. And it's important, going along the same route of stories. In Hamilton, the last song, the finale is who lives, who dies, who tells your story. I'm bringing that film here so that we can see history, how history is remembered, how history is told, depending on the people who are telling it. It's important for all those little stories to get told so that they can become a part of history, so that all of us can be a part of history. And if we don't tell our stories, somebody else is going to tell it. And trust me, they won't get it right. So be about the business. There we go with that word. But be about the business of telling your story, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. Because trust me, somebody else is going through the same things that you're going through. And when you are brave enough to tell your story, it helps other people say, I can tell my story too. and it can get out of me and stop being all discombobulated inside of me where I can't even understand it, but I can speak it. And once it's out there, I can look at it. And I can say, you're not that big, bad, and ugly after all. I appreciate you. I appreciate that part of my story because it all went into the making of who I am. Trust me, Alexander Hamilton, had some flaws, had lots of flaws, like all of us, yet his story is the foundation of an award-winning play that is going on and on and on and will go down in history as one of the greatest musicals of all times. This movie, this documentary that I'm bringing to Kalamazoo is about people in Natchez, Mississippi. Their stories will go down in time, in history, so that they will not be forgotten. And who wants to think of their story as one that will simply be forgotten with many other stories? We have more control over history, over our history, than we think we do. And we owe it to our children and our grandchildren and our community and this world to tell our stories. So, with that being said, I am going to introduce you to a phenomenal young lady that I met, I think it was last year. I was volunteering for an event at the Black Arts and Cultural Center, and I was serving food or helping with drinks or something, and her husband came over to get something, and we started a small conversation, and he says, "You should meet my wife." And I was like, "Oh, okay, let me meet your wife." So he went and got his beautiful wife and came back, and I was like, "Oh, I should meet you. You're phenomenal." After we talked for a few minutes, and I wanted to know her story. So we met, and I was so impressed, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you must come on my show. I want the world to know your story." So this video, this podcast will be on YouTube, and it will be forever. So Kendall,
Hi.
Kendal Jones, how are you?
All is well. How are you?
I am wonderfully well. Yes, I am so glad to finally have you in the studio. You know, actually, my show was supposed to end at the end of May, and Kendall could not make it. She says, "This is the only day I have that I can make it." I'm like, "Okay, well, we're going to have to make that work because I got to get you on this show." So I extended the run, and here we are. So, Kendall, tell me about Kendall. I'm loving this dress. Now, did it come from your shop?
It did not come from my shop.
That's okay.
But it did come from another boutique.
Okay.
Thing.
Is it local or?
No, so it's actually, I think, in New Jersey.
Oh, fabulous.
A little bit of a ways
It
away.
looks like East Coast. It's got that East Coast vibe.
Yeah.
It's giving East Coast.
Well, I mean, honestly, I am just a young lady from Detroit. I've been in Kalamazoo. I came to Kalamazoo because I was a Bronco. I went to Western Michigan University, and I pursued a degree in business administration, computer information systems. And I decided to get married to my husband and just be here. I love Kalamazoo. I love the community. So I felt that we needed an upscale resale boutique near downtown Kalamazoo, because that's where us Kalamazoo folks just tend to gather.
Yes. Yes. So you're from Detroit.
I am.
Because we're going all the way back.
Mhm.
Oh, so you grew up in Detroit proper?
Yes, so in Detroit, Michigan. I am from Linwood and Webb Street.
Okay.
Near the Boston Edison district. I had attended Cornerstone schools from kindergarten through 8th grade. And then I went to Cass Technical High School, which is a pretty large high school in Detroit, pretty well known. A lot of people have gone there. Celebrities or reporters, just athletes, everybody you can think of kind of went to Cass.
Oh, if everybody who's famous from Detroit went to
yeah,
Cass.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, well, it was just a larger school, not everybody, but it was
Oh,
a
yeah,
larger
yeah.
school, about 3,000 students.
Okay, wonderful.
And then I decided to.
But we can't skip that. We can't just gloss over. Well, I went to
Okay.
school, and so what was it like growing up in your family?
Well, I am an only child.
An only child. I
On,
did not know that.
on both sides. So
Okay.
the oldest granddaughter on both sides. And it was just, I love my family. They are so sweet. They like coddled me and nurtured me, and all of my aunts and my grandmothers and my father and my mother. I mean, they all just held my hand, and I'm so thankful for them because they are really strong folks. And,
Yes.
you know, they just kind of raised me up to be.
So
pretty strong.
your mom didn't want any when you came out. There was like, oh, I got my perfect child. That's it.
Oh, you
I don't
know,
want any more.
Yeah, they were one and done. They were young when they were 27.
Okay.
And so they were still trying to figure out life. And so they said, well, you know, just one is all right. So just me.
One is fine.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So did you have cousins that you grew up with?
Yes, I have plenty of cousins.
Okay.
My oldest cousin just celebrated his 85th birthday.
Oh.
So we are so happy to have him.
Yes.
So cool. But yeah, I grew up, I had a ton of cousins. We gathered for holidays, and even just to hang out on weekends. So.
Was one like your sister cousin?
Oh yes, I've got
Oh.
a couple of sister cousins. I got maybe a favorite cousin. I'll just
Okay.
give her a shout out,
Okay.
Blake, my cousin Blake in Asia.
Okay.
But they being around those young ladies have definitely shaped my views on fashion and just life.
Oh. Were they older or younger?
They're older. They're all millennials. So
Okay.
when I was born, I was like the Gen Z baby, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're so excited to have her around. It's a new baby in the family.
Oh.
We're dressing her up. We're taking her everywhere we want to go." Like, I just love them. They're so cool for that.
Nice. So what did you learn growing up that you can remember in retrospect that led to you being the person you are today?
Well, I would say keep God first.
Okay.
And whoever that may be, to whoever you are, and steer clear of the drama. I would say.
How did you do that?
I mean, drama always comes, but it's also up to you to choose what you entertain and what you don't entertain. Right?
Okay.
What you should entertain and what you don't entertain.
Okay.
And so they kind of just taught me to be a lady, just kind of keep your head straight and narrow, be
How did you
focused.
navigate that in school? Because school can be, it's a training ground for developing character, for developing how you respond to situations, especially middle school. How did you navigate middle school?
Well, I'm an only child, so
Yes.
I am naturally an introvert. Some people aren't. Me, I'm
Okay.
just naturally an introvert. But whoever I kind of met, I was always cool with everybody, from kindergarten, I still got friends from kindergarten all the way up into college, and
Yeah.
making friends now. I've just always kind of steered clear of, some of the extra distractions and such. Just kind of keeping it straight, a
Good.
positive attitude.
Yeah. And then knowing that you have that foundation, I'm sure that helped. That no matter what I'm going through, I can go home. My mother gonna love on me, and she gonna make everything right. Gonna have just what I need, some cookies.
And then even in college, she would come up here from
Oh.
Detroit. She would take a train to come and, hang out with me.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
So why did you choose Western?
Okay. Well, I had first attended Kalamazoo Valley Community College, and I was pursuing a
Why? But why
technical
did you? You're from Detroit.
Uh-huh.
There are plenty of schools around Detroit.
Mhm.
Is it Detroit or Detroit? Which one do you guys?
Oh,
prefer?
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay.
Detroit.
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 Okay. So you're in that area, and there are plenty of colleges and universities around. Why did you choose a school in Kalamazoo?
Well, I first heard about Western Michigan through a program called the Midnight Golf Program.
You're a golfer?
I am. Yes, I am.
Oh boy, we're learning a lot today, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, so I decided, my parents, let me sign up for this program that was like a college readiness program. It was the last year of high school, which I think is like the most important year in high school. And this program just encouraged us to go to college or pursue a trade, whatever we felt comfortable with doing, whatever we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I decided, well, Western Michigan is about 2 hours away. I'm an only child. Well, 2 hours and 45 minutes away. I'm an only child. Mom is, going to be an empty nester, but I think that'll give me just a little bit of responsibility that I need to navigate life, through life.
Right.
And so I decided Western. I said, it's far enough, but it's close enough. So.
Far enough and close enough. When I moved from Chicago, that was one of my things. It's far enough, but close enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
cool.
I decided to just stay here.
Okay, so what's your parents think about you leaving home to go away to college?
My dad was okay. He was like, she'll be fine. My mom's like, I'll visit you every weekend. So they were, okay with it. They moved me up here because I started at KVCC.
Yeah.
I decided to live in an apartment, student housing, and it was a lovely experience, to be honest. I got just enough responsibility with working a job, participating.
You worked not your first year.
Yes.
Really?
I worked since I was about 16. Yes. Yeah. Because I love to do things, and after a while, your mom and your dad make sacrifices for you, and you just, kind of want to be responsible and independent. So
Yes.
they let me work, which I thought was cool.
That was cool. Now, did you participate in things in high school? I know you were a golfer. What other things did you participate in?
So I played basketball.
Oh, you were an athlete?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, shooting guard. So that's like the number 2, right next to the pointing guard. So it was pretty cool, pretty important position, I guess.
Okay. I was just a cheerleader.
Oh,
when I grew up, girls didn't really play basketball, but I wouldn't have played anyway. But I like cheerleading.
Nice.
Dance, theater, all that. That's my lane. But yeah, go ahead. Educate me about this basketball.
I played basketball.
Uh-huh.
I was interested in a lot of theater, but I was an introvert. So I was very nervous about going out there on stage. I remember seeing I think it was the Fila Kuti, a portion of a play that they brought to the school because a few of the alumni were in that play.
Oh.
So I saw like an excerpt of it, and I said, oh, this is beautiful. I would love to be up there dancing and, singing, but I was just too nervous to do so. So I decided sports were kind of for me. My mother, she had me join like a broadcasting summer program, which was to try and get me out of my, comfort zone.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, that's kind of what I did. I worked in in high school, and so I worked at a restaurant.
Oh.
Just did normal teenager stuff.
Cool. Oh, boy. Nice. So you took the athletic because was it more of the focus is on the team.
Mm-hmm.
It's really on the team, even when we play, even though I'm a part of it, and people might be looking at it, but it's the team effort. Whereas if I'm on stage, whenever I talk, people are going to be looking at me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you still have the bug to get on stage sometime?
I do, and for some reason, I don't know why, because everybody's like, just go ahead and sing.
Yeah.
I can't sing. Y'all are hyping me up. But
just go ahead and do it. You go ahead and do it. Audition for a few plays and just see what happens. You never know.
Yeah.
Never know till you get up there and you're like, oh, this wasn't so bad after all. I can do this too. I can add this to my resume.
Yeah, with your mentorship, yes.
Indeed. Let's do it. Let's do it. So once you got to Kalamazoo, what was that experience like? Going from Detroit to Kalamazoo?
Very different. Detroit is large. It's not as large as Chicago, but it's pretty large.
Yeah.
A very busy city, and Kalamazoo is very busy, but a little laid back, a smaller community, but a strong community is what I liked about it. And everybody kind of knows everybody around here.
They do.
In a way. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Which is good, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. So I decided I wanted to kind of settle here and stay here. I mean, being at KVCC, it's a 2-year program. You get your associate's degree.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'd like to pursue my education just a little farther. So I said, no, I'm not going to get my associate's. I'm going to go for a bachelor's.
Okay, so what did you major in?
Computer information systems. So that's under like business administration.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I decided to work for a company out here after.
But what made you interested in that career out of all the things you could have done? What did your mother see for you?
Honestly, whatever I really wanted to be. If I wanted to be a ballerina, Miss Hardy would support me, okay? But at a very young age, my parents, I'm an only child.
Yes, yes.
They bought me a computer at 5 years old. And, right, why would you give a 5-year-old a computer, right? Like,
they had a lot of foresight.
And so I had a computer teacher in elementary school that would let us play these little games online, pbskids.org, and, little small coding games. Well, I was always playing in the settings, in the settings part of a computer. And I was very much interested in operating softwares at a very young age. And so I said I would think that it would be kind of cool if I figured out how to, like, help build one of these, software systems. And so my mother got me involved with coding. She always encouraged me to play, like, games on the internet or every piece of technology we had back then. My first phone was a Nokia, and so they just kind of, I guess you could say, overindulged with the technology, and that kind of led me to pursue a career in technology.
So where did your mother get her knowledge from, or that insight that I need to give my daughter whatever she has a proclivity for? If I see her leaning in this direction, I'm going to feed her this. How do you think your mother got to be the way she was?
I would have to say her mother and her aunts. So my great aunts. They are fabulous. Okay, they are fabulous. They do whatever, and they have done whatever they wanted to do. I mean, whether it was crazy, or if it was really businesslike, and everything in between. I mean, I think that
I need to interview them.
Yeah.
I want the whole group. I want
so
you
cool.
to get them together and just let me be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
But I got to record it.
I think they'd be okay with that. I think they'd be just fine with that.
A group of women of color who are fearless, who say, I want to do this, and go right ahead and do it.
Yes. Yeah.
I need that story. Oh my gosh. I need to add that story to my catalog.
Yeah.
Yes. But go ahead. So you had these fearless aunts, a fearless mother.
Yeah.
You were like in a garden of beautiful roses and tulips, and that would just flourish. Oh, that is so awesome. Give me a story about one of them.
Well, my Aunt Elaine.
Auntie Lane, yes.
My Auntie Elaine. I absolutely adore her. She is one of my favorite cousins. Well, two of my favorite cousins, Asia and Gerald, their mom. And she happens to be my grandmother's youngest sister. And she is just gorgeous, like always been, okay? And so one day my mom tells me, well, your aunt used to be a model for the auto show. And I was like, Aunt Elaine? I mean, this lady is like top-tier businesswoman. She's been in the same career for over 3 decades, by this time I'm young.
Yeah.
But every time I see her, she's got like a million shoes and purses and suits and dresses. Oh, she was just so an influence on like how I dress today.
Yes.
But I just simply remember my mom telling me, because my dad would take me to the auto show, and I would see these pretty models and these beautiful dresses standing next to these beautiful cars, and I could only think, what was my Aunt Elaine like in the 80s, at the auto show, just modeling. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? When I step outside, I got to look like something, something.
Yes.
But she kind of always, like, I see her now on like social media, and she's still like just drop dead gorgeous. Still, you know.
Oh my God. Is she in Detroit?
She is. Yes.
Oh, I got to meet her.
She's sweet.
You got to arrange this. I am so
I
serious.
will.
I
I
am
will.
so maybe before it gets to be too cold
Mhm.
in the fall, like October, maybe I'll just take a weekend and go up there. If
Please.
yes, oh my God, this would be. I'll take some
Yeah.
gear from here
Yeah.
and set it up, and we'll just have a great time.
Yeah.
Wonderful. But that's not your story. But it is your story because it's your family story.
Yeah.
Now, what about your dad? What kind of
Oh.
person was he?
My dad, oh, I love I'm a daddy's girl.
Oh my God,
Like,
I could
through
see
and
it. It's all in your face. It's all in your eyes. Oh my dad.
When I first
That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When I first opened the store, my dad stayed the night before with me, and we pulled an all-nighter, preparing for the soft launch of the store. I mean, any little thing that I needed, he like came through and he did, you know. But my dad's always been like very much into like the house music scene
Oh,
and Detroit, and he's like well respected in the music, like the house music industry. He's traveled the world. I mean, anything you could think of that, I mean, besides like maybe jumping off of a cliff of some sort, he's done, you know.
that is with house music. Did he travel the world?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And then of course he had a little bit of fun time, you know, while he was
Yeah.
traveling, but I mean, his music just moves
Is he a
people.
DJ?
He is a DJ.
Oh my God, girl, I love house music. I lived in Chicago and house music was the thing. Oh my God, is he still doing that?
He still does it.
Get
Yeah, he in
out.
there.
You have to let me know when he's going to be DJing. I will go up there, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so that is so cool. And he stayed with you. Ah, how wonderful.
He's sweet. He's real sweet.
So what did he do to help with the business?
Oh, I mean, he put flowers and vases for me around the store. He helped vacuum, you know, just last little minute touches to certain spaces, certain parts of the space, you know. So whether it was like just putting clothes on a hanger, steaming them
Yes.
out, he just kind of like helped with everything. Yeah, he's cool. He's all right.
He wants his baby to do well. Oh, so okay. We got up to college because we keep going ahead and
Right.
being here, and then we're going to go back. So you went to KVCC, got your associates in computer science.
Well, it's a transfer.
You were a transfer.
I didn't want to finish there. I said, no, I think I can do a bachelor's. So I decided
Okay.
to take
Oh,
my
I
credits.
see. So instead of you getting you said, no, I'm going to go on and go. Okay. So what was it like getting into Western?
It was a little challenging at first,
Oh.
but with the right advisors, the
Yeah.
right people in your circle and your corner, you get to know certain people around Western, faculty, staff,
Yes.
kind of helping you here and there, saying, hey, you got this, or giving you, encouraging words, or saying, hey, no, this is where you're supposed to go for this, just help along
Yes.
the way. That made it a much easier transition because usually you get like the full, student orientation
Right.
when you just start at a 4-year. I did not get that. I had one day and it was like storming, and it was like a winter storm the day of my orientation. So I said, I'm not gonna walk around all these buildings here by myself, or
Yes.
try and keep up with anybody. It's too cold. So over time, I got involved with certain registered student organizations on campus. I just decided to get out there and meet people.
Wonderful.
And when you meet people, you meet people. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that kind of made it a little easier for me to navigate around Western.
And having that legacy coming from that family
Mhm.
where everybody's like on their game, your mom and dad on their game, you're like, I'm on my game too. So I'm coming here. Hey, you guys, let's know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And it's always helpful to have those teachers and other people who are in authority to say, it's cool, you got this. Oh, do you remember anybody in particular?
Oh, quite a few. I would say Miss Fuller. I would say Miss Tamika, my advisor. Ms. Fuller, she was in charge of the Martin Luther King program. While I was not a student of their program, she definitely like helped me out and said, hey, this is the direction that you need to be going in. You already got one foot there. Take another step. Keep going. And I met her at a time in my life where I was like definitely, I was going through it. I was confused. My brain, I wasn't even 25, so the frontal lobe was not developed. Yeah. You know, you're trying to be cool with everybody, and you start to slip a little bit, right?
Right.
Or I would say your crown is starting to slip just a little bit, but then you got somebody that says, oh, no, straighten it back up.
Okay.
You got this.
Good.
So she was that person to do that. Her and Miss Tamika. Yeah, Miss Tamika's now the assistant dean of academic advising. So, yeah.
Awesome.
To see her like move into that position from being an academic advisor that made me so happy because she really helped a lot of people. She pushed a lot of students in the right direction.
Yes. So, we need that in college because college is an interim period where you're no longer a child, in your mom's house, mom and dad's home, but you're not forced out into the real world yet, the work world just yet. And that interim period, that incubation period, I like to call it, it's critical. It really is. And having the right people on your team who look into you and say, this is you, or that's not you. Mm-hmm. Straighten up and fly right. Yeah. Let's go in this direction. Yeah.
I would even say that being in the midnight golf program in 12th grade definitely helped too, because I got my first taste of what college was really like. I knew all of my family members that had come before me had gone to college and pursued degrees and trades and certifications.
Yes.
But I never really experienced a true college campus, And so they took us on a tour.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a HBCU tour. And that was when I got my first taste of life.
Okay.
And to see what that was like. So that encouraged me to kind of go to Western too.
Okay. So did you have a good time at Western? So you had fun at Western.
Too much fun.
Too much fun. Did you join a sorority?
No.
Why not?
I guess with my degree, it was difficult to kind of do other things like that. I just wasn't one of those people that, wanted to do that. So. But, the girls cool. The sorority ladies are really, really cool.
Is your mom
a
Greek, or any of your aunts Greek?
A couple of aunts are. I've got uncles that are. So, yeah. Okay. My Aunt Dion, she's like a Delta. And then I've got another aunt, a cousin Jennifer and Harriet, who are AKAs. Okay. So, just ladies all around.
Did they try to encourage you to go that route?
No, I think they just definitely were like, just go to school. I mean, they never really like opened. My cousin Harriet and Jennifer definitely like, you knew that they were like ladies of their sorority.
Yes.
But no, I never had that like conversation with those ladies to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So Western was a combination of challenging classes, challenging curriculum, and fun. Mm-hmm. So you had a nice balance.
By like, junior year. Yes.
When did you start? When did you really start like, okay, I got to leave this part alone and I got to focus? When did that kick in?
Honestly, I think it kicked in when I had to take my first coding class. Oh. And it was a MySQL class, and it was the first portion because it was a 2-part class. And it was like, nobody's holding your hand. No, you cannot find the answers on Chegg or Quizlet or SparkNotes. No, you have to know this stuff. And so slowly but surely, the partying went away, and then the extra hangouts went away, and it was just more time to study. And so that's probably when I settled in. It was maybe that sophomore to like intro into junior year.
Okay.
And I got sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. I
yeah.
remember when it happened to me, and I had to just
Yeah.
move away from everybody. I was an English major, English and theater,
Ah.
but having to read all those books and
Memorizing.
focus, and debrief, and really writing papers. Anyway, it's too much to remember. So,
Yeah.
you graduate college and you decide to stay in Kalamazoo. Why did you decide to stay in Kalamazoo?
Well, I felt like I had been so I moved out here when I was 17. I mean, I
Oh,
graduated at 17, high
yes. Okay.
school. So I had no choice, but to go to school. It was like,
Yeah.
you're going to do something. you know?
Yes.
And so I decided, I had been out here. I graduated. I found a really nice company that would, that hired me in.
Oh, you got a job right away.
Job, right?
Okay.
I graduated on I think it was like a Friday or Saturday. I started work on Monday. So,
Ooh, great, girl.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I just decided to stay out here. It's such a comfortable place to live. The community is just, wow. Like the land, everything. I love everything about Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
I love Detroit too, but I think being here for a few years, you kind of get settled in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and peacefully settled in. So.
Awesome. So you said, okay, did you say I'm going to make Kalamazoo my home, or I'm going to stay here for a while and see what happens?
I think so. I had a moment where I moved back to Detroit because my
Oh,
mom
did you? Oh, okay.
got this really amazing house,
Oh,
off of the canal of the Detroit River. And so I said, oh, I want to move with you. And then I applied to a company out there, and they hired me in. So this is during the time that COVID, kind of happened. The pandemic was happening, and everything was online. All of my classes were online.
mm-hmm.
So I said, well, I'll just move back home, And then I said, well, I love home, but I need to be by myself.
Yeah, after being in college, being on your own, to go back
Yeah.
home.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
So I said, I'm just going to move back to Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And I'll just figure it out from there.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So
Mm-hmm.
then I met my husband, and
Wait, how did you meet your husband? That's the part I was trying to get to. How did you meet this husband?
well, he was stalking me. No, he wasn't stalking, but he definitely, I would say, took notice, from afar, and finally decided to approach me.
So were you working and he was
yeah.
stalking you at work?
No, so at one point
He was noticing you.
he was noticed. So he was my landlord.
Oh.
Yes, he was my
So,
landlord.
He wasn't so far.
But he
Okay.
wasn't. I just moved. I wasn't even into that apartment for 2 months
Uh-huh.
before we decided to just say, okay, let's just give it a try. He would come and bring me my mail. It was just, he made it very comfortable for me to live there. He wasn't hounding me.
Yes, just being
He
kind.
was being kind.
Yeah.
And I mean, I believe that there is a difference in being nice and being kind. I'm a kind person.
Yes.
And so every interaction was not, I've had boyfriends before. It just wasn't giving boyfriend material. It was giving
Okay.
husband material.
Ooh.
He genuinely didn't want me to struggle. He didn't want me to be stressed out. He was like, how can I show up for you in any capacity?
How can I show up for you?
And, since day one, he's always been a husband, and I think you kind of know the difference, right?
Yes,
Boyfriends,
yes.
You hold their hands, and you got to figure life out together to some capacity,
Yes.
And in my generation, I say we like to kind of figure each other out, what our limits are sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But with him, it was none of that. It was not a game of, cat and mouse. It was not a game of, simply wanting to test her.
Yes.
It was just genuine.
Genuine. And
And
that's what I felt. That's the word that was coming
Yeah.
up for me. It was genuine.
It was genuine.
Genuine love
Yeah.
and appreciation and
Yeah.
all of that. Oh, awesome. So, after 2 months of you being there, this man was smitten at first sight, apparently. And understandably, you're a gorgeous woman.
you.
And he just said, this is my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Did he later tell you that?
Yeah, and it actually wasn't that much later. I think that I watched a show called 90 Day Fiance.
Yes.
And never in my life would I ever thought that I would be a 90-day fiance. But I said, well, I've done everything that I needed to do in life.
Uh-huh.
That I felt like I needed to do at my exact age.
Yes.
And so I kind of felt like I didn't have anything to really lose. I had been in my career. I had pursued further my education. I've participated in work jobs and met people and kept up with people in the community. But I mean, I guess a husband was kind of missing. I never thought about being married. I never thought about having children,
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Oh, boy.
And then when I met him, everything changed.
Oh,
And I felt,
how wonderful.
thank you.
Yes. So you said you had never really thought about it, but then, and so how did it change for you?
I think to some extent, he gave me a level of comfortability that nobody else had given me. And it was nothing to do with, finances.
Yeah.
It was just simply about hearing and understanding my heart and knowing my, needs and knowing my wants, like my real wants, not saying, oh, I want a purse, but more so like, yeah, a nice house somewhere would be pretty okay with me. I'd be
Yes.
satisfied with that.
Yes.
And over time, he just was like, I can give you that. He was like, that's easy. That's nothing. And so he made me feel comfortable, not only in just like, with the reassurance, but he made me feel very comfortable just with expressing myself and growing up and being me, There's some sort of age gap, if I'm going to keep it real,
Yes, yes, no worries, yeah.
But I say he's got a young spirit.
Yeah.
I think he kind of froze his spirit at 48. They say never date a man in his 40s, no offense, but, I went for it.
Don't worry about what they say.
I know.
They are single.
I mean, it's just kind of like, yeah, like I can agree. Sometimes he's kind of, but
You got to take the whole package.
I did.
And the package is worth it.
So lovely.
Oh, women out there. Now, when I write this up, I have to really, really lean into this part because there are a lot of women who need to hear what you said. So I want you guys to rewind, go back, not necessarily, you guys don't rewind these days. Take the cursor back a little bit to hear all of that about he knew my needs. He knew my wants. Maybe even anticipated. And he just loved me and loved on me. Was not afraid to show it. Am I misinterpreting anything?
No, I
because
think you
that's
felt it
what
before.
I felt when you were talking. And it was such a comforting, it was like just rocking a baby as you were talking about him. I'm like, oh, Lord, come on. Send him to me. I'm kidding out there. But no, I think all of us, men and women, would like to have somebody that we can talk about in those terms. And I'm so happy for you. I am so happy for you. You guys look great together. You look very happy together. And it's just wonderful, a wonderful thing. So now let's get to
Okay.
where you are now.
Okay.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, thank you. It's all new to me. I decided to take a leap of faith.
Yes.
And open up a boutique. So after I got married, with my job, it was very demanding, but I loved it. But I saw that my husband, needed a wife, right? And like he needed a partner to truly, make certain decisions or help out with certain errands and such. So I said, okay, well, what I'll do is, I'll take a leap of faith. We're going to leave this job that I've had for a couple of years now, and I'll help you. If you're serious about me, I will help. And so he said, oh, you've got a spot right there with me. And so I said, okay, it would be nice to join him in his ventures.
Yes.
But as a young woman, I want my ventures too. And I wonder if he would support my crazy idea in opening up an upscale resale boutique.
Yes.
So we just opened up Studio Caché in August of 2025.
It's that new?
It is really new. I mean,
Because when I came by there last year,
yeah.
it must have been soon after you started, because I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Just August of 2025. So tell me that story. How did you?
So I've always had like this epiphany for fashion. I mean,
Yes.
my mother, funny because me and my mother always used to like disagree on outfits. And I think every mom and daughter like kind of go through that stage, right? Where they got different styles or they kind of
Yes.
dress alike, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I love thrifting.
Yeah.
I love finding things on a budget, know, and so I told my husband, he knows I like to shop, and I said, well, I've got clothes in this closet I can't wear anymore. I can't fit. What am I going to do with them? I've always donated, and I've always given clothes away,
Yes.
But then I thought about it. I said, well, I would love to find a store that, kind of has accent pieces or, something really random you wouldn't find in like maybe, a Goodwill or,
Yes.
yeah, like a Salvation Army. You might, but what are some really nice pieces that are like maybe fresh off the runway from like the early 2000s?
Yeah.
That don't cost an arm and a leg and
Yeah.
maybe a shoulder or something, like, and so I said, okay, well, how about this? I've got clothes that I need to get rid of.
Yeah.
And then I have clothes that I kind of want to bring in that I'm starting to collect from the community that, women are coming and saying, older women are coming and saying, hey, I've got a bunch of suits that I don't wear anymore, and I know a college student could use a business suit.
Yeah.
So I reached out to my community, and I said, hey, I want to open up a store. Do you have anything that you are willing to donate, sell, or consign to me?
Yes.
And I had like 20 women say, of course, we do. And so, I even had like a young lady that I met that helped me open up the store. I would not have been able to do it without her, several of them, but her in particular.
Yes.
She is a sister girl for life.
Yes.
She basically said, I have a designer bag, that you can sell. So I said, oh, I don't know if I can sell it, but I'm going to try. I've kind of got a little bit of experience in authentication of luxury, handbags.
Yes.
Let me see if I can put this knowledge and make some money from this. And so not only was it money that I thought about, but I said, these women in this community don't need to travel outside of the community to have access to these items.
Yes.
And wouldn't it be kind of cool if I could get a bag, a top, and a candle from a place, and then I can get my mom or my aunt or my friend or my sister, a nice pen to write with or a book that they might like to read. So I kind of just started making up, all these different parts of the store in my head, and I presented the idea to my husband, and he said, let's do it.
Oh.
Wildest thing I've probably ever, no, probably not the wildest thing I've ever done, but
What's the wildest? You piqued my curiosity.
No.
okay, no worries. But this was a good one. This was a keeper.
Yeah.
Because the store, Studio Caché. Give everybody slowly, loudly, clearly, proudly the address of Studio Caché.
We are located at 813 West South Street In the lower level, I like to call it the garden level,
The garden level.
in
Yes.
Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49007.
Okay. And now when you come into the lot. You can come into the lot or you can park on the street. But just know that you're going to go around to the side
Yes.
of the building and then go down to the garden level and be totally amazed. This space is gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's a reflection of Kendall. It really is. Not only does she have clothes, an array of beautiful clothes, and I'm just thinking in my head, I've got to stop giving to Goodwill because I give a lot. I give a lot, and because I moved from, I just redid my life when I came to Kalamazoo. Oh my God, I had anyway. I was a performer, I was a singer, and I had gowns and sparkly and just beautiful clothes. I still have some in that closet. Yeah, anyway, your place, talk more about not just the clothes, not just the boutique items, but I don't even want to call it a store. What can we need to call it something else. You call it a space just now.
Yeah. It's this. I don't know.
We need to come up with a name.
Yeah. Right now.
Something French.
Oh, yeah, you're right up my alley. I need to learn a little bit more French, but I would say I kind of call it a boutique, but we have.
Boutique is good, but the space is
The hosting room.
Yeah, the hosting room. Let's talk about the hosting room because we're going to run out of time, and we got to talk about that hosting room. Girl, go ahead.
I have a hosting room that can seat anywhere from 4 to a table of 12, and I kind of use the dressing room as a place to gather too. But I came up with this idea that women needed a place to gather, very secretly, very in such a quiet and hidden place. Because that's where we get the work done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a part of the ladies' library, and I see exactly what they're kind of doing as far as meeting and how they meet. And so I had this idea. I said, it would be really cool if we had a hosting room where women could throw birthday dinners with close friends, gather and have meetings, tea time, coffee. They can literally host etiquette classes or take an etiquette class. So that was my idea for the hosting room because I do love to host.
Yes.
My friends and my family. And I was like, well, the space just kind of calls for it. And so I decided piece by piece, I picked up everything you could think of that the hosting room needed. So a projector, cups, the right plateware, dishware, everything. You could think of.
You guys have got to see this. You've got to see this. We have a name. We're going to come up with a name before the end of the show. Because we can't call it a space. Yeah. We'll come up with something and we'll keep working on this. If you have any suggestions, by all means, let us know. Please. Put it in the comments. Put the idea for the name of this space. Oh, you know what? We're going to have a naming day where everybody can just come by, view the space, and leave with their idea for a name. The name, why you think it should be that name, and then we're going to put it online and have a contest. I'm just making this up as I go along. Kendall's like, who are you? You're supposed to be a show host, not...
That actually helps me a lot, Ms. Robert. Thank you.
But I love that. I love the creative process. Yeah. And if we can bring people into the space, get them to take ownership of that name, wow, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. It would make it feel more welcoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God. Okay. Go visit Studio Caché. Give me the address one more time. I know it's on South Street.
Yeah, it's on 813 West South Street.
813 West South Street.
Yes.
West South Street.
Yes.
813 West South Street. Studio Caché. Go by, visit. And once you're there, you're going to want to buy something. You're going to think, oh, I've got this in my closet. I should donate this. Oh my gosh. Maybe if I come in and I bring 3 items, maybe I can get 10% off an item for myself. That would be wonderful. Yes. And you've got some events coming up.
I do.
What do you have?
So I love to host. And
Okay.
so me and a group of my girlfriends decided.
Friends. I love friends.
I love them too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
We decided to come up with the Kalamazoo Hosting Collective, where we host a series of events throughout the year, particularly one event per season, because it's kind of a big deal right now. I mean, if I could say that, not to toot my own horn, but it's kind of a big deal.
It was so nice.
Right
I went to the first. I went to
Thank
one.
you.
It was beautiful. And the young lady who did the massage, she's now. I get monthly massages from her now.
Yes, we love
So
her.
yes, I bought several things, and I love. My lip gloss. I bought it there and love it. It's a really chapstick thing with a little color. I love it. Yeah, my passport cover now. I use that. I bought it at your event. So when is the next one? Because everybody has got to know. Yes.
Okay, so I don't have.
You don't have the date yet?
It will be this year. I don't have the exact date, but it will be at the end of August. It's a way to close. It's called Summer on the Lawn.
Yes.
And it'll be similar to the Spring Social. So, you can kind of Google that or look it up on Instagram or Facebook. But it'll be just women gathering. So
Yes.
we plan to have a panel. We plan to do yoga, Pilates on the lawn. It's a summer on the lawn. It's a way to gather, bring the community out, shop, have fun, have hors d'oeuvres and cocktails and mocktails and everything in between. So, a cooking class, things of that nature. Just a summer on the lawn.
Summer on the lawn.
Yeah.
I love it. That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And there's just, when you have your own space, there's just so many things you can do with it. You can just be so creative.
Hey, sorry.
We're just seeing people that we know passing by because there was another event here at Public Media Network. And so we're waving. We're just, it's because this community, this is Kalamazoo. That's what we love about Kalamazoo. So, Kendall, we're coming to the end of this time together. Oh, I feel like I've gotten to know you so much better. You're such a lovely person. I'm so proud of you, your initiative, your spunk, your drive, and to know that you come from a lineage of women and men, I'm sure, who were just taking control of their lives, not allowing anything that's happening in the world to get in their way. This is my world. I navigate it. I go where I want to go and do what I want to do. I'm going to find a way to make it happen. That's such an important lesson for everybody out there listening today. Because, this world and this country in particular is going through a shake-em-up period. That shake 'em up time where you're just, before you roll the dice and see how they're going to turn out, we're just in that shake it time. But we've got to remember that we are the dice. We are the dice. And when it's rolled out, we can take our dice and say, I am going to do this, that, and the third. No matter what you're shaking up, no matter what your plan is, I've got my own plan. And that's what it sounds like you've done. Is there any advice you would give to young women out there listening today?
I would say listen to your elders. Get cool and do what you can for those who came before you. Being a generation, Z, I think that it's very important to keep those baby boomers close, especially in these times. And every single person that's in your life that's right after them, just listen. Listen more than you talk and take it all in so that you know what to do to move forward with the future. You are the future, so keep that in mind.
Awesome. Let me ask you my last question. I ask everybody this. If you could look into a crystal ball 20 years from now, what does Kendall's life look like?
20 years from now. I would more than likely be very much off the grid. Still running the store, but I probably travel, you know,
Okay.
as much as I possibly can. Maybe one kid, you know, and just doing my own thing,
Okay.
traveling.
Cool. At the beginning of the show, I would go into that more, but at the beginning of the show, I noticed that you had on a watch. And about couple of weeks ago, I said, I am ditching my Fitbit. I thought about buying another one that kind of looked like a watch, sleeker. I said, no, I don't want a Fitbit. I don't want any more. I have a phone, that's enough. And I have my computer, my notebook. But I don't want to know who's calling me. I don't want all that technology. And then when you sat down, I noticed that you had a watch. So raise your arm so we can, for watches.
I mean,
Yeah, so why did you get a watch?
so I decided that, I mean, being in tech, you know, it's like you're forever involved with technology. You got everything that you possibly think of. You got your Apple Watch, your phones, iPads, computers, laptops, games, everything. But I said, you know, I'm so tired of looking at a screen all the time. I don't want to wear it. And I want to think a little longer. I want to actually be able to tell time. I mean, that's something that I haven't done in a long time. So I said, I'm going to just wear a watch. My husband gifted me this watch, and so I said, well, I'm going to just rock it because he's a watch guy. He's actually a jeweler, so a gemologist. So I thought it was pretty cool that he was like, oh, you've been wanting a watch, and he didn't give me an Apple Watch. He got me like a watch, you know.
Yes.
I think it's important that we get back to using our brains a little bit, you know, and learning how to, you know, set a watch. And, you know, it's important. That's something we can take with us for a long time, you know. Apple Watches, I don't know. But shout out to Apple. But I still don't know how long it'll last. So.
Yeah, I like technology. I love
Yeah.
technology. I don't have a problem with it at all. I
Right,
just,
right.
like you were talking about the elders, and I try to teach my grandchildren, but they know. They know that, you know, you have to respect your elders, not just respect them, but listen to them and learn. Be in a learning position. And when I thought I wanted to get rid of the watch, I didn't think about it anymore. And then I was at the store yesterday. One of the first, I said, I'm going to go over here and look at earrings. Ran right into the watches. And I bought a watch. I'm so happy that I have this watch. like you said, using my hands to wind it or to set it. We need more of that. It's time. Our time, talking of time, our time has run out. I have to get to another meeting. Thank you so much. Give the name of the store one more time.
Studio Caché, and I brought a little gift, if that's all right.
Studio Caché. You didn't have to bring anything.
I know, but it's your last episode, and so I had to bring you a gift from Studio Caché because you are doing the real work in the community.
Oh,
So, thank you.
aren't you kind? Oh,
Thank
let me just end the show before I start crying. I have another meeting to go to, so I can't mess up this makeup. So, thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
are so kind.
Thank you.
We talked about kindness.
Yeah.
Guys out there in audience land, my mother taught me you can catch more flies with sugar than you can with salt. Kindness costs nothing and gains everything. What if you walked up to the next person that you saw on the street and just donated a smile and some twinkling eyes, no matter what condition that person was in? It not only helps the person, but it bounces off them and it comes back to you. Let that be an episode in your story, please. Try it. You might like it and do it again and again and again and pass it on to somebody else, especially your children. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Remember, all stories matter.